Hi, this is 365801, and this is another buddy read. But this buddy read is, of course, with the lovely Katie, but also with Bizarre Individual. So the three of us are doing the buddy read. And today's buddy read, or for the next couple of days, it will be Core Scramble. Now, Core Scramble is a Netcomics 3-volume series by Euho Jun. And I know absolutely nothing about this. Except that I think you can buy one or two of these volumes for like £1 or £2 on Amazon just now. So yeah, every once in a while they have them for sale and you get them for a really good price. I don't think I spent that much on these, but I've had them in my collection for quite some time now. They are quite chunky, and it's been a while since we did. I mean, should I? You can pause and read this if you want, but I probably won't bother because I'm gonna have to read it anyway. I don't even know what kind it is. It just says fantasy, so there we go, 16 plus. And these are the characters. So yeah, some sort of fantasy. It says $11.99. I did not pay that. I need to check exactly, but yeah. So yeah, 3-volume series, buddy read. I just finished filming my 1331, so I'm actually migrating into physical because all I've read this month so far has been digital or audiobooks. That's it, no physical. So this is the first physical of September. And of course it is Manhwa. So it's the other way around. I'm gonna have to get my eye in. So yeah, kind of interested, intrigued, don't know anything about it. I don't know how much I'm going to get done over the next few days. I have visitors coming in a few days. Again, you hear? Yeah, I know. When am I going to get a rest? And I'm working today and I'm tired. I'm working for like the next few days. My next day off isn't for like 4 or 5 days. So, yeah. Ugh. We've got Grand Prix this weekend. Looking forward to that. So this might take a while. I'm going to give myself plenty of time to do this. I know Katie and Bizarre might be finished already. I don't know. I don't know. I've kind of been MIA for social media and stuff. I've just been taking a little bit of break. I just kind of need to, if I'm not feeling great, and that's what happens. So yeah, I'll have to check in with them though, that I've actually started. Although technically I haven't because I just took them out the drawer. So yeah, I'm going to have something to eat, upload my video to the channel, and yeah, probably get ready to go to work as well. Tidy. Always tidying. That's the plan for the vlog. You think about it.
It's all historical facts.
I think they don't stick the tickets. Yeah. So I got a few things at the charity shop. I thought I would just show you. Got a t-shirt. Just says California, but it's a long sleeve t-shirt and it's quite good. So yeah, quite happy about this. If I do that, you'll probably see it better. So that's a nice oversized one. That'll be quite good. I also picked up the Reverend Richard Cole's Murder Before Evensong. This is like a reverend guy. He's also one of the characters is like part of the church. So he's kind of a famous like kind of personality. So I'm kind of interested, and it was only £1. And then I saw this because on Instagram there is someone called This Bee Reads, and I see this book. They have photographs of this book on their Instagram, and I was like, oh, is it any good? I do not know. Will I like it? Will I not? It's chunky, so I don't think I'm going to get round to reading it anytime soon. But not bad for £1. So I thought I would pick this up because of this Bee Reads. And then the thing that I actually am super excited about is the mug. Oh, isn't it cute? It's like a little Christmas gnome. Elf? Gnome. I think so. Isn't it cute? Ooh, a little bit too much there. Isn't it cute? So yeah. A little wee gnomey. So this is going to be for my Christmas. This is going to be my Christmas mug this year. I'm very excited about it. It's nice. Can you imagine marshmallows and cream on top? Woo hoo hoo! Hot chocolate. It's going to feel weird drinking out and then looking at. No eyes though. That's good. So yeah, this is my little bounty of goodies from the charity shop.
3 days later.
So I have finished volume 1 of Core Scramble by Euho Jun. This is obviously Netcomics. I was having a wee look to see about it. 2011, but 2015, June 2015 in English, which is, wow, 8 years ago? That's quite a lot. And 2011, wow. Anyway, I had no idea what Core Scramble was about, and even after reading volume 1, do I know what it's about? Kind of. It's so, it's very sci-fi, and it's very plot heavy. So you would think it would be easy for me to say what the plot is, but I'm not sure if it is. It's the best thing to do, is we are following a soldier. What's his name? Cheun Shin. Yeah, Cheun Shin. We are following a soldier in this dystopian sci-fi fantasy future in some sort of Korean, or I don't know, any kind of place. And this soldier works within a team, and he's in team 4, and each team has a leader, and the leader of his team is not a very good leader, and either fights and completes the missions all on his own because he's so strong, or is so apathetic that he just leaves, and all the rest of the team, who are a lot weaker magically than he is, have to fight. And in this world, there are halls, which are like portals to another world, and bugs, like alien bugs, come through the portals, and each of these alien bugs have like a core of magic within them, and some of the bugs are small and weak, and some of the bugs are really big and strong, and they have to fight them because they bring with them toxicity and alien bugness. And some of the normal people don't know about this. And then you have all these people and government agencies and all this kind of stuff, and different teams and different chiefs of teams, and then, oh yes, you've got this other group of people who are like a shady group of like criminal terrorist, opportunistic people who are trying to do something with these halls This is a hall, a dimension hall. It's like a portal, and they're trying to do something with it. I'm not entirely sure what is the purpose. But they don't know either. So I mean, the criminals obviously do, but I mean, we're following Cheyun, and he doesn't know, and so we don't know. But every time he's been anywhere, he bumps into this guy, Moonhoo. Moonhoo. I'm guessing that's how you pronounce his name. And he keeps bumping into him all over the place, and they keep on having interactions. Cheyun is an interesting one because we get a bit of his backstory of when he was a child, and he could see things that other people couldn't see, and it was these portals, these halls opening, and it was the bugs coming through, and because of that, he was trained up to use magic. So he's now a mid-level soldier. He was low-level soldier, but because his the chief of his team, is so horrendous, and he's been left in multiple life or death situations, he's actually leveled up. This does have the sort of feeling of a like a computer, game in some respect. It does kind of have that feeling. It kind of reminds me of a few other things so far. Sorry, I'm so tired. And I'm also not very well. Anyway, I have finished volume 1. Yay! It took me a hell of a lot longer than it should have done. I read this first section, and then this first section, and then a couple more of this. I like this. Looks very old fashioned. It's good. About the artwork, it is very nice. I like it. I like the comedy. I like the action. And it is very dense. There's a lot, and that's probably why it's taken me so long to get through this first volume. But I've managed it. I will move on to volume 2 and check in when I've read that. Hopefully, I'll be feeling a bit better as I yawn again, because I've not been very well. But never mind. We'll see how far I can get. It's only 3 volumes. Surely I'll be okay. But I am. So, I'm trying to edit. Editing is difficult. It's so frustrating having to learn this new. All my videos are going to be completely slow, old. Like, it's going to take forever. Anyway, and I'm not feeling great. Anyway. And I have people coming to visit soon, and I don't have time for this. Anyway, Core Scramble. This second volume went by a lot faster than the first one, because the first one is a lot of, like, not info dumping. Well, yeah, it is info dumping. There's a lot of, like, explanation pages in the first one. There's a few in this one as well, of like, hey, in case you didn't know, you need to know this. We're going to explain something that's going on. So yeah, this one is a lot more stuff happening. Unfortunately, the first chapter has some ableist slurs and some homophobic language. One of the characters is kind of a wrong'un, and so he uses homophobic language. But the ableist slur was like, ugh, why? This is 2015. There's no need for that. No thank you, translator Jiong Lee, or editor Philip Day, or any of these people. This is 2015. Could have just said no. Because there's other words you could use. It's fine. Anyway, this one's a lot more. There's a lot more plot going on. There's a lot more development between what's his name again? Cheyun. We get a lot more of Moonhoo, which is this guy, who is the leader of the core hunters, the kind of terrorist criminal guys. And then we also get a little bit more of Gayun, who is the chief of Chaeyoun's team, which is now just a team of 2. It's just the 2 of them now. He did it on purpose. What a dick. Anyway, what happens? He's being a dick. He's always a dick. Chaeyoun ends up going to help a different team. So he's the only member of Team 4 along with the chief. It's just chief and him, and the chief's like, haha, now it's just the 2 of us. You can leave if you want. And he's like, no, it's fine. And you're like, it's fucking not, dude. Ow. My stomach hurts. So yeah, he goes to help them, and they've got a plan though. This guy who's trying to ingratiate himself and get something out of the team leader. They attack and boot out everyone who's in the team because they had all the team numbers, or they had a way of doing it. But he's not part of their team. He's the only one left. So he ends up fighting with them and injuring them. And they're all like, ooh, nah, 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 and a bit annoyed. And he's just watching it going, oh, look at my boy. Look at my boy. Kicking ass. Taking names. See, info dumpy. They do a lot of these. There's a lot of info dump pages. But a lot of things happen, and the guys want to get revenge, so they end up taking him. Other stuff happens. He ends up having more intimate moments. The 2 of them are kind of cute together. They're like, no, we're not gay though, but no homo. It's 5 feet apart because they're not gay. Like, it's very gay. It seems kind of old-fashioned in that fact that, you know, it's been a while since I read something that was so blatantly, no, but I'm not gay, but I'm not gay, but yeah, let's just make out. You know, it's that kind of thing. Like, it's been a while. It's been a hot minute since I read some of the old BL that are like that. And this is giving old BL vibes because of that. But not necessarily anything else. Just that whole, oh, we're gonna have sex, but we're gonna say no homo, so it doesn't count. So stupid. So stupid. Anyway, so there's cutie moments between Moonhoo. I don't know if that's his name, but if that's how you pronounce it. But I mean, he's obviously got the hots for his chief. Chaeyoun obviously has some sort of feelings for him. Anyway, so he ends up having to get his hook thing maintained. This is so ridiculous. I can't believe I'm trying to explain this. But he ends up taking like a transmitter, which isn't his transmitter. It belongs to the chief. And then when he gets kidnapped, he's getting beaten up by the guys who... He makes a fair point. You know, honestly, he makes a fair point. The fact that they're like, oh, we feel so frustrated because you beat us. And he's like, yeah, so you hit me on the back of the head, tie me up, and take out your frustrations, because that makes you really great. Like, your abilities are obviously not enough, so you have to do this instead of actually fighting fair. Anyway, so they find the transmitter in his pocket, and they can transport whoever it is that's supposed to be connected to that, which of course ends up being... He's like, no, dude, we're all gonna get into trouble if you do this. He honestly should have been like, dude, this is not what you want to do. He was trying to tell them. He did try and tell them. And so they end up transporting the chief into this, like, situation. And he's just like, fuck this shit, I'm out. He's like, I'm gonna destroy everyone. He just... Oh, I was like, oh no, it's not gonna be good. Anyway, so he kind of like instantly not kills them, but damages, injures, blinds even the bad guys, but then decides to SA
Chae-yoon, because he's not gay. He's not gay. He said he's not gay, so he's not gay, but that's what he's gonna do. He was in the middle of having some fun time with his girlfriend, and so he's like, you know what, you want this, so I'm gonna give it to you. And he's like, no, I really don't, because he's saying he's not gay too. You know, if everyone says they're not gay, seriously, guys, what the hell is with this? And then his actual boyfriend turns up. This boyfriend turns up and is like, hey, what happened to my guys? And then he's like, coming out of the side room, as you please, and like, oh, we're gonna fight. And they're all like, yeah, let's fight. And then he pitches up and he's like, oh no, it's Minhoo. You were supposed to be a good guy. Who knew? Who knew you were the leader of the bad guys? But also, obviously not his boyfriend, because he's not gay. So he's not heartbroken because he's, one, just been SA'd, and two, found out his boyfriend has been, is betrayed him by not telling him the truth. And so it's double betrayal. So sad. So yeah, a lot has been happening, and it seems here in the end it kind of ended up, I'm just spoiling it. Full of spoilers, guys. Go read this. It's fun. It's so bad. So mental. Gaeyoon, is that his name? Gaeyoon may have intentionally hurt another chief of a team, the one that was really good friends with Chae-yoon, and he was obviously jealous of their relationship. Gaeyoon is obviously, you know, a little bit buttsore about all of the men. See, it seemed like he was almost goading this alien bug being to try and injure him, and then he jumped out of the way just in time for the other chief to get it instead. So, and of course Chae-yoon saw all this and was like, I don't know, you seem like you're a wrong un too. So it's just betrayal left, right and centre. And that's how the second volume ended. So I have volume 3 to read. Here it is. Which has never been read. It's absolutely brand new. Never had the... I don't think this one had either, actually. It was pretty new too. I can't remember how much I paid for these. Pretty cheap. I think even right now on Amazon you can get them for like £2, something like that. Every once in a while, older Netcomics titles go for really, really cheap. And yet some of them are still super, super expensive. And I don't know why. Is it the trim size? Is it the type of thing it is? But I have seen Core Scramble go for cheap. So yeah, keep an eye out. Don't overspend if you don't need to. Anyway, I'm really enjoying it. It's very sci-fi, fantasy, dystopian, battle manga. But the messiness of this, well, it's not really a love triangle, it's a love corner. He's like catnip to everyone. Chae-yoon is just like, he is catnip to all the boys. He has his milkshake. So yeah, we shall see. This is a great image though, I really like it. Kind of gives you vibes of, ooh, what's gonna happen? And I feel like it takes you the first volume fully and part of the second volume to really get into the story. But now I'm fully in it. But I am editing, or at least trying to edit. It's taking forever. So wish me luck. And while I'm waiting for things, I will try and read some more of this. So this might be a really boring vlog. We shall see.
Several days later.
So here we have another blanket. I thought it was the same as my other blanket here, but it's not, and it's not even the same as that. It's similar, but it's not. But when I was in the shop, I was like, oh, it's a blanket that looks the same, but it's not. So this is going to get added to all my throws, and they're just going to be. I'm slowly building up autumnal throws and autumnal sort of decor, and I want winter ones, and I want seasonal decor. I want to be a seasonal decor girly. But yeah, this was £2 because it's got a couple little snags, like this kind of thing. It's got a couple of snags, but it is from Dunelm, you can see. So yeah, a couple of quid, it's not bad. And it kind of goes. I'm going to need to get some nice cushions for my sofa, but hopefully this will be, and maybe some more decor like pumpkins or something like that. Something more autumnal that I can have. But yeah, eventually one day I shall be a seasonal decor girly, but as it is now, that's what I picked up at the charity shop. I almost forgot to show that I also picked up this, which is a pocket atlas of the moving body. That was £1 as well, and it just looks great. Why did I get this, you ask? Because it looks cool. So yeah, just that's my other little haul from the charity shop. So before I have my delicious dinner, which is courgettes and mushrooms and breaded chicken in a carbonara sauce, bit of garlic. Looks good. This is gonna be delicious. I did finish volume 3 of Core Scramble, yeah. Euho Jun. So I did finish this. It took me a while, but anyway, and I did enjoy a few things about it, and there was definitely some things that I didn't enjoy. The bit that I liked, that I enjoyed the most, I think, was when there was a fight between the two guys, the two semis, the two tops, and you got that moment when they started to fight, and you finally got someone to say, "We're watching a real life core scramble," and I was like, "Oh, is that where the name comes from?" Because 2 and 2/3 of the way into a story, that's when I'm like, "Oh, okay, I forgot that's what this was called." I don't know. It feels weird to be like at that stage to understand what the whole point of the book's, like what the title refers to. So yeah, it's taken me a while. I'll move this out of the way so I can show you a bit more. There's things I definitely liked about it, but there's things I definitely did not like about it. One, this was published in January 2016, and they were still using homophobic language, the no homo using that kind of and being derogatory and very negative, even though they themselves are. I can understand, it's BL, that's kind of something that you can kind of just like, okay, get that. But the ableist language and the ableist slurs, I'm like, 2016, that is not it, Netcomics. Stop that. 2016? That's pretty late on to still be using it. I mean, I feel just as angry, if not more angry. When Sublime does it, I'm like, oh my god, no. Especially when it's a fairly recent one. But I'm thinking, when was like Candy Colour Paradox, when was that published? And I'm thinking that like some of the early volumes might have been around the same time, and they were using an ableist slur. Not the same ableist slur. I don't like tier ranking slurs, So I'm just going to say that it's equally as bad and not something that I generally hear very often, if ever at all. I have heard it fairly recently because at my workplace there was someone who used that word to refer to someone who worked there, and we were all like, whoa, what the, no, that's not on. You know, it was like everyone reacted really to it in a way you would expect, which was utter shock and appall. So yes, the ableist language, the ableist slurs used in here were incredibly off-putting. So I'm warning you on that. Fair warning, you know? But that's not the creators' fault. That's Netcomics, and that's the translation. That's the people who are creating this for an English market. That's these guys here who would have gone through it and gone, okay, cool, that's fine, and just went with it, you know? It might be that one person read it, translated it, and might have been that other people changed things. You know, who knows why or who chose to use that language, but that's on them as a creation team or a localization team. But the actual creator has no say in that. So I don't feel like it's fair to judge the work based on that. Even though it is 2016, this was originally 2011. So that you also need to take into account. In terms of their actual artwork, I really like it. I quite enjoy the style. I especially like at the back where you can see the drawing kind. So this is where they're like sketches, and you can see the pencil marks for the hash and just the general way that it's been drawn. You know, you can tell it's been drawn with a pencil, and I like that. Occasionally I would get things like doujinshi from Inaria Husanosuke, who did Maiden Rose, and you could tell she'd just drawn it with a pencil and it is like a photocopy, and I'm like, that's fine, that's really cute. And then in the actual manga itself, or manhwa, that it's the more professional, tonal, that kind of thing. So I like that. There are definitely problems with this. It is very clear that this is a debut work because of the info dumps. And especially when there's a point, this is coming up to it. So there's a really, oh wow, something's happening, oh my god, something's happening, oh no, what's gonna happen? Info dump. Because the main character is about to do something, and we as the audience need to know just how important or impactful or different or unique or special that this moment is. And so we need to have all of this info dump knowledge at the very moment where the action is taking place, so that we fully understand what the action is. And that's a failing of like very basic storytelling, when you tell and not show. And so that's what this is lacking massively throughout the whole series. But that was like the absolute pinnacle of nonsense storytelling, and that is a flaw from this debut creator, that they could not show, they had to tell. And I understand that when it comes to sci-fi or fantasy, that when there's a magic system, or when there's alien beings, or when there's groups of people with their different lore or something like that, you have to have someone or some way to impart that knowledge, and this is not how it should be done. I'm not saying it's bad, it's just this made me laugh out loud because of how how inappropriate in terms of storytelling it is. To he's about to do it, and instead of just showing it to us and then having maybe, you know, the people at the side, because then it just stops, then the chapter stops. So like here there's all these people, you know, instead of having them stand there and have like his thoughts over the top, having a speech bubble going, oh no, we're exhausted, our magic's exhausted, who's gonna save him? He's definitely gonna die if he falls from there. You know, that's showing, not telling, because it's a character who's saying it instead of it being a thought, or him saying out loud instead of the and all of these utterly useless sound effects coming from his voice. Saying out loud, oh god, I have to do something. There's only one way, but it might kill me. You know, that was enough. That's enough. And then you see him do this. And then as he staggers away, you could have him say, oh, you know, I know it was almost impossible. I didn't think it could happen, but I was able to do this, and this might actually kill me, and then have him, you know, say these things instead of it all be his internal monologue, and then just the only thing we actually see is his name being called. I mean, I can understand it, but it's definitely a massive, massive flaw in the storytelling narrative. And this guy is just so inside the closet. Well, to be fair, I think they're all pretty much in the closet because they were all going no homo whilst they were doing stuff with each other. But it was fun. I kind of liked the absolute nonsensical nature of it because it was kind of what I needed. It was the nonsense that I needed for me to be reading this going, this is so stupid, this is so stupid, and just taking it for what it was, kind of stupid. But there were still some things that I liked about it. I liked the character design. I liked the main character. I liked the fact that it wasn't exactly clear what his motivations were and what's going on. And I loved the twists, the plot twists. This was a plot twist. I mean, there was a plot twist, and then there was another plot twist, and there was another plot twist. There was like quite a few plot twists in this final volume, and I enjoyed all the plot twists. And I didn't always see them coming. And I don't know if that's because the author, the creator, just didn't know how to signpost these things so that you could pick up on it, or if they themselves didn't know that they were going to do that until they just did it. It was like, no one saw that coming. And the creator's like, yeah, me neither. So yeah, there was a lot of plot twists and a lot of things that were not explained, a lot of plot holes, and a lot in the end not resolved. There are very little resolution. And I think the mangaka thought that as long as the two people that she thought should end up together ended up together at the end in a semi-happy relationship, in a semi-happy scene, that was enough for a BL audience to take, when this is a 90 to 95% plot-driven story, that the 5% romance that we were given would be the resolution that needed to be settled, instead of resolving the 95% of the story. It was like, no, this is not a romance. This is a plot heavy story. Resolve the plot. And I don't think one page panel at the end showing them kind of having fun resolves anything that went on in the story. Does it address the halls? No. Does it address the cores? No. Does it address the alien bug life? No. Does it address what's happening with the other characters? No. So she has to do this like afterword that kind of goes through all of the characters at the end and kind of explains her reasoning and the motivations and I love this thing. Many readers expressed their opinions about the characters' outlooks on life and the story's many rules about magic technology. I invested as much time as I could to create a unique and believable story. Thank you very much for enjoying my work and being so interested in even the small details, i.e., she got a lot of people going, so what the fuck is this? And why the fuck does that do that? And what the hell do you mean about that? Because it's none of it is explained within the body or the text. It's all info dump pages. Info dump. I'm trying to find another info dump ones. Every once in a while there's like an info dump page. Like when these guys all just pitched up and I was like the extra dudes who were like the special operation people, all these guys. And none of that was alluded to at any point in time earlier within the organization. None of it. Like this. This is just an info dump page. Info dump. Because he's in a position and the creator has to be like, oh, this is what happens. And you're like, no, I should know that already. Or it should be explained to me through the actions, not through here's an explanation. So yeah, there was a lot difficult that was not resolved. And then this end section, I was like, oh, okay, this is kind of like a resolution, but it wasn't. It was, hey, just remember, this is what this whole story was about, his trauma. Wouldn't you know it, it was a BL about trauma all along. And that's how it ended. Give me a hug. Okay. And I thought that was kind of cute, but still, it was very stupid. But it was very sci-fi-ish, and I kind of liked that. So yeah. That's volume 1, 2, and 3. This was a buddy read. I am late finishing this. But I have had these in my collection for a long time, and I'm really happy that I was able to read them. I'm going to have to message Bazaar because I've now spoken to Katie. Thanks, Katie. Because I was reading this today and I needed to finish it. And trying to get my computer to work as well while I was in bed. So I'll have to message Bazaar and ask how Bazaar got on in terms of what they thought of this. I'm kind of wondering, is it worth your while reading it? For shits and giggles, for sure, shits and giggles, go for it. But get these at cheap prices. So like I said, in Amazon the other week, I saw, I think it was this one and this one, and they were like £1.89 or something like that. That's the price you want to pay. Okay, it's not they're not worth $11.99. No, you are not worth $11.99. But it's fun for shits and giggles. Before I go though, I was thinking, what other things did this kind of remind me of? And I'm gonna go have a wee wander around. So give me a second. Okay, so I've got a pile of them that I think are quite similar in some respects. The one that I thought first and foremost 100%, because at the moment it's also a 3-volume series, and that is, if we look at Core Scramble on the side, Hanger. This is Hirotaka Kisaragi, 3 volumes, Tokyo Pop. So we've got volume 1, volume 2, volume 3. We're waiting on volume 4. This is dystopian, neo-Tokyo, futuristic, involves people working together, working in teams. It has gangs, it has criminality, terrorism, trying to stop damage within populations and stop people being hurt or killed, that kind of thing. So for me, that was very similar. And also, if we take Hirotaka Kisaragi's other work. Where is it? Innocent Bird. This is another kind of sci-fi. Namo naki tori no tobu yoake. So this is also 3 volumes, but it's blue. So this is kind of like a battle-y type manga as well, with kind of like heaven and hell type thing. So it's like angels and demons type thing. This is just my volume 2. I do have a full volumes 1, 2, and 3 set in my other collection. So yeah, these are kind of old, but they're not too difficult to get hold of. And I love Hirotaka Kisaragi. The art style is kind of old-fashioned compared to what he's producing now. Let's get volume 3s. But still has that action, adventure. It's so beautiful, so pretty, so pretty. So I really like these ones. So these are the ones that I thought of, like, oh, if you want a better core scramble, try Hanger. That's my first recommendation, or any Hirotaka Kisaragi. The other thing that I thought of is Steel Moon. In fact, Makoto Tatano does a good job of sci-fi fantasy stories. Steel Moon also is like kind of battle manga-y, with in both of these, Ninth Sleep as well. There's the kind of sense of those above and below, so it's like different worlds. This one is being watched, so it's kind of like Big Brother type style, whereas this one is also like angels, demons, heaven, hell, that kind of thing, but there's a bit of a touch of incestuousness in this one, so be warned. But there is that sort of battle aspect to it, and the sci-fi fantasy that you could maybe find in these as well as in Core Scramble. So you might want to try these ones as well. Any Makoto Tatano. I give her a hard time, but still. Then I was thinking, what other ones? And this one from Shushu Sakurai, Missing Road. Definitely gave me Core Scramble vibes, but in the worst way. So what I didn't like about Core Scramble, this is Missing Road. Disclaimer. I hated Missing Road. This was the worst thing I read, or it was like top 3 worst thing I read 2 or 3 years ago. I hadn't read it and I was just like, this is absolutely hellish. This is sci-fi BL at its absolute worst. And then I saw that Bazaar was like, just read this and really enjoyed it. And I was like, oh no. We did not have the same tastes. This also is like battle manga, but it's got lots of SA, and it's got lots of different, an epic sci-fi adventure of love, loss, and redemption. No, none of that. So the nonsensical aspect of Core Scramble, that I kind of enjoyed this time around because I was in the mood for it. This one I was not expecting it to not have any. Whereas Core Scramble has so much plot, densely plotted, a lot of things. Like the creator really thought about it long and hard and had all of these things, but didn't have it fleshed out and didn't have it fleshed out within the storytelling narrative. Missing Road has nothing. None of that. So if you want a sci-fi kind of surfacey sci-fi BL, Missing Road's the one to go for. Some other sci-fi kind of fantasy things you might enjoy. Obviously, Loveless. This is a big one. I really need to read the rest of it. Number 6 is also the big sci-fi kind of one that everyone loves. It's 9 volumes. I've read them all. I really enjoyed it. It was good. Another sci-fi. This is Silver Diamond. I really like Silver Diamond. I really like Sugiura Shiho's work. But unfortunately, this is a super long series and we only got 9 volumes before Tokyopop went under. and we'll never get the rest. But I have not collected them all yet, so I still need to get the rest. But I just love beautiful artwork, and does sci-fi in the way you're like, leaves you questioning things, but not because the author didn't know how to tell you, but because the author has deliberately not told you. Leaves you with the mystery because there is an element of mystery, not because they're lacking in storytelling ability. Then we've got Togainu no Chi as well as Monochrome Factor. And these are two Tokupop ones that are kind of BL slashable ones that are not proper. They kind of are given shonen ai vibes. Well, Togainu no Chi is 100% a game that is supposed to be a BL game. Because it's Nitro plus Chiral. I don't know how to say that. I just always never knew how to say that. And that, I think, is a 5-volume series, and I've only got the 3, and I thought I had them all, and then I found out, no, there's a volume 4 and 5. And so I'm kind of gutted about that, because it's super difficult to get them. So yeah, these are other ones. So yeah, a whole heap of interesting sci-fi fantasy that you might be interested in if you have read Core Scramble. But my biggest recommendation is, of course, 100% Hanger, because Hanger is just very, very good. It's for me anyway, it's a good version of this, because Hirotaka Kisaragi knows how to tell a story, and has a lot of experience telling stories. Like Innocent Bird, I think, is lacking, whereas Hanger, it's like he's ironed out, the issues of a debut. And for Core Scramble as a debut, I think it's not too bad. But I've never heard of the creator creating anything else, so I'm wondering what happened to them. So yeah. Anyway, my pasta is going to be really, really cold now, so I'm gonna stop talking and eat. Yeah, sorry if this vlog is a bit weird. It's probably a bit weird because I was ill for most of this month. Well, not most. Yeah, actually, it was pretty much most of this month I was ill, and so I was a bit late on starting it. I was supposed to start on the 20th, and I think it was like the 22nd, 21st or 22nd when I actually started, and then I got very ill, and work happened, and visitors happened, and yeah, lots of other things. So I'm finishing it now. A little bit sad that I haven't done as well as probably Bazaar and Katie, but very happy to have finished reading Core Scramble and having taken these 3 off of my TBR and added them onto my reads for the year. It's always nice to do that. So yeah, thanks to Katie and Bazaar for doing a buddy read, even though I was the worst of the bunch. Sorry about that. I'd love to know what your thoughts are on Core Scramble. If you've read it, absolutely need to have more conversations about this, or Netcomics in general. I also kind of feel like they don't get talked about a lot. So yeah, I'd love to know what your thoughts are on Netcomics in general as well. If you made it to the end of this video, wow, thanks. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Take care, guys. Really, I say that and I mean it. Take care of your health. Hydrate before you dihydrate. That's a great saying. So yeah, do that. And I will see you in the next video, whenever that may be. Fingers crossed it's sooner rather than later. So yeah, take care, guys. See you in the next video. Bye.